Okay, all right, ready? So this happened to me a long time ago now. When I was working in the back of a small salon, I was overrun with clients for most of the week. I didn't have much time to even think, but you know how that is. It was Saturday and the day was going to be a busy one. And I had this raging cold. I think it was football season at the time and I had just started, so all the boys were at football practice. My husband was self-employed builder, so he was working extra hours leading up to the half-term break. I grabbed my bag, my smoothie and pills for the furnace that was my temperature, banged the 3 boys in the car and kicked them out at the football pitch, racing the car back into town like Lewis Hamilton. Thank God there was a parking spot right outside the salon, or I would have been mega late. I got into the salon and the client was already waiting. Cocked eyebrows, looking all judgy, with one eye on the clock. Why they were worried about time, I have no idea, because I was the one that was going to have to be rushing around all day. Anyway, took me 3 minutes to set up my nail desk because I always did it the night before. My client sat in front of me and presented me with horrific fingers that had either been up a cow's backside or in the garden. The smell of Chanel perfume was making my head spin, and realizing that I had a splitting headache, I called over Kerry. Now, Kerry was our Saturday girl, and she was the most unwilling Saturday girl I had ever had. I asked her to grab my pills from my bag, and with a purse of her lips and a roll of her eyes, she stole herself away from doing her own nails and grabbed the pills. Stomping over, she slapped the popped pills from the blister pack onto the station and the water next to it. Without even looking, I popped the pills, trying to engage my client. She wasn't over the fact that I had been 5 minutes late and that she would have to be 5 minutes late out of the chair. But then things started to go a bit hazy. Everything started to slow down and filing became a chore. It was like my hands weren't connected to my arms anymore. My client's voice became disjointed, like a carnival ride in a horror movie, and Kerry appeared back at my mouth, dabbing it. I was trolleyed like on a Friday night trolleyed. Drool had been dripping out and was swinging like a demolition ball off my chin, thus freaking out my client. I felt my head was getting closer and closer to the table when in fact it banged the top of the station and I was out cold. The next thing I knew, I woke up staring into pale blue eyes of a rather sexy paramedic who was laughing at me. It turned out that my husband, who had a bad shoulder, had been to the doctor and was prescribed codeine for when he could take the evening after his work. In my haste to get out the door with the boys, I grabbed his drugs instead of mine, which was just regular paracetamol, and Kerry had given me 2 of them. 2 was an overdose. Apparently codeine turns into morphine when it hits the liver, which is why I was sparked out. I see my ex-client now and again in the supermarket. She's still a little judgy, but I'm sure that she has dined out on that story ever since. So the lesson to learn here, always read the label and don't trust the drugs the Saturday girl gives you. I mean, like seriously, I can imagine trying to concentrate, trying to do the nails and thinking, what's going on?
I mean, I would have had to have got my thinking cap on and encapsulated the slobber or something. You know what I mean? You'd have to kind of just.
I don't think it's just. I think all of that must have been retold to her because I know what it's like to have taken an overdose, on accident, by the way, just because I've taken pills and not realised. I'm like, why am I feeling this way?
I've had codeine. If I can't have codeine because they make me feel drunk. And one of my clients once gave me a tramadol.
Yes.
Because I got a bad back. And it was fine until I stood up and went to the kitchen, and then I couldn't remember where I was. So I'd be no good. Oh my God.
I take codeine 4 times a day. Like I do. And I'm actually a functioning codeine taker. I'm never going to get off the codeine.
My name is Sam, and
That's it. I'm a functioning codeine taker. But, obviously, like, when I first started taking it, I was good for nothing. Like, I seriously was like glazed eyes. And so this poor girl.
Poor girl.
I know. That poor client. That was funny.
I wonder if Kerry still works there.
I don't know.
To push her over the edge.
I know. She needed a Lorna, really. Lorna would have looked at the pills. Are you sure you want to take 2 codeines?